Supercharge your business equipment with funding now. The loan agreement sits unread on your desk while you watch the rain streak down the window, leaving your dream of a second cafe location hanging in midair. I should mention now that this isn't just any story about business equipment loans. It's your story, and I'm writing it as you read it. You run your fingers along the edge of the paperwork, feeling the weight of what these pages represent. The smell of coffee beans roasting in your original location fills your nostrils, a smell you hope to duplicate across town if only you can figure out this financing puzzle. Your existing espresso machine, grinders, and refrigeration units were paid off last year, but expanding requires more capital than your bank account can provide. Funny how they don't teach this part in business school, you mutter to yourself, scanning the terms again. Fixed rates, variable terms, equipment collateral agreements, the language swims before your eyes like fish darting away each time you reach for them. The clock ticks loudly on the wall, marking the passage of time that feels both too fast and too slow. I can see you wondering why I would choose such a mundane topic as business equipment loans for a story. Trust me, I've asked myself the same question several times while crafting this video. But aren't the most ordinary things often the most impactful? The espresso machine is not just equipment, it's the beating heart of your business. The phone on your desk rings, interrupting your thoughts. It's Marcus from your favorite financial institution, the lender who's been helping you sort through your options. Unlike the 4 banks that rejected your application due to your less than stellar credit history, Marcus sees beyond the numbers to the potential of your business. I've looked at your cash flow statements again, Marcus says, his voice carrying the calm confidence of someone who's guided hundreds of business owners through this same process. With asset-based lending, we can use your existing equipment as collateral for the new loans. Your coffee roaster alone has enough value to secure part of what you need. You laugh, a short, nervous sound. That roaster nearly bankrupted me when I first started. Now it's my golden ticket to expanding. The irony doesn't escape you or me, the narrator carefully placing this detail to build character depth without being heavy-handed about it. Your mind wanders to Eliza, the owner of the bookstore next door who faced similar growing pains last year. She'd shared her story over one of your lattes, how flexible funding options had allowed her to open a second location despite initial setbacks. Her heavy machinery for custom bookbinding had served as collateral, much like your coffee equipment might do for you. We can structure a business growth loan with payments that match your seasonal income patterns, Marcus continues, pulling you back to the present. The summer months when coffee sales peak could have higher payments, while winter could be lighter. You examine the loan calculator spreadsheet on your computer screen, playing with different numbers. $10,000 for new espresso machines, $12,000 for refrigeration, $8,000 for coffee grinders, and various smaller equipment pieces adding up to nearly $50,000 total. The sum makes your stomach twist into knots. This is where most financial stories would offer a perfectly timed solution, perhaps an unexpected inheritance or a wealthy investor appearing out of nowhere. But that's not how real business financing works, and we both know this narrative needs to stay grounded in reality. No deus ex machina here, just practical equipment financing options for small business growth. What about the working capital needs beyond just equipment? You ask Marcus, voicing a concern that's been gnawing at you. Inventory, staffing, utility deposits, the hidden costs of expansion that lurk beyond the obvious equipment needs. There's a pause on the line, and for a moment you fear you've hit a wall. This is our cliffhanger moment, dear viewer. Will financing fall through just as your dream seems within reach? That's actually why I called, Marcus says finally. We've got a commercial equipment finance program that includes a working capital component. Since you've been in business for 3 years with strong revenue growth, you qualify for our expanded package. The tension in your shoulders begins to ease. You flip through the loan application again, seeing it with fresh eyes. Terms that seem confusing now make sense. Depreciation schedules for tax benefits, interest deductions that could save thousands, repayment structures tailored to business rhythms rather than rigid banking calendars. Across town, your potential new location sits empty, waiting. You can almost hear the hiss of the espresso machines not yet purchased, smell the coffee not yet brewed, see customers not yet served. Equipment financing bridges the gap between this imagined future and your current reality. Business owners often think they need perfect credit, Marcus explains, as if reading the concern from your furrowed brow. But with equipment loans, the machinery itself reduces the lender's risk. Bad credit isn't an automatic disqualifier when you've got valuable assets and strong cash flow. You remember your initial fear when approaching banks, the shame of past financial mistakes, the worry they would define your future options. The psychology of borrowing money carries emotional weight that financial textbooks rarely address. Yet here you are, finding paths forward despite those early rejections. The application process is surprisingly simple, Marcus continues. Most of our equipment financing loans close within a week of approval. We're not banks with their endless committees and red tape. You start filling out the forms, listing your current business assets, the Italian-made coffee roaster that costs as much as a car, the commercial-grade refrigeration system, the custom-built service counter. Each represents not just a dollar value but a story of past financial decisions that built your business. Did I tell you about Tony's Deli? Marcus asks. They started with a single location and used equipment financing to expand to 3 stores in 2 years. Each new piece of machinery generated enough revenue to cover its own loan payments and then some. The success story lands differently than it would have in a pure sales pitch. In our metafictional world, we know these examples serve narrative purposes, yet Tony's experience still offers genuine hope. Such is the strange dual reality of being both a character and a viewer aware of the storytelling mechanisms at work. Your pen hovers over the signature line on the final page. The rain has stopped outside, sunlight breaking through clouds in that heavy-handed metaphorical way that makes both of us roll our eyes a little. Yet the symbolism works despite its obviousness. Small businesses like yours are the backbone of the economy, Marcus says, reciting what sounds like a line from a commercial. We both know this crosses into promotional territory, but sometimes cliches exist because they contain truth. You sign the papers, setting in motion the machinery of finance that will, in turn, fund the actual machinery of your business. Funding approval will take 3 business days. Equipment ordering will take another week. Installation, training, hiring, each step has its timeline, all made possible by your signature on these documents. Later that evening, you walk through your original cafe, seeing it with new appreciation. Each piece of equipment represents a past financial decision that worked out. The espresso machine that pulls perfect shots every time. The refrigeration units humming quietly. The POS system tracking every sale. All once new, all once funded through careful planning. As you lock up for the night, you can't help but smile at how ordinary and extraordinary this all is. Business equipment loans, possibly the least glamorous subject for literary treatment, yet now central to your story's progression. We're both aware of the absurdity, you as the character viewer and me as the narrator breaking the fourth wall. 3 weeks later, you stand in your new location, surrounded by gleaming equipment still wrapped in protective plastic. The loan payments will start next month, matching the projected revenue ramp-up we've calculated. The numbers work on paper. Now comes the real test. A barista trainee struggles with the new espresso machine, reminding you of your own early days. These things are investments, you tell her, the word carrying dual meaning in this context. They pay for themselves in time, both financially and in what they teach us. I could end our story here, with equipment installed and business expanding, a tidy conclusion to our financing narrative. But like the effect that pulled you into these pages, some threads remain deliberately unfinished. The loan agreement sits on your desk in the new location, the first payment circled on your calendar. The equipment works perfectly, but will the customers come? The business plan projections look sound, but markets change with the weather. Call 888-653-0124 today or click the link in the description to learn more and share your success story. Tell us what you liked about today's video by leaving a comment. A big thank you to my subscribers, we love it when you comment.